I have to ask the question: is Ironheart racist? Recently, someone on the internet, let me throw this up here, posted this commentary, and I want to see how you guys respond to it. Well, Chris, before I start my Alan's Corner, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What was your impression of the Asian character in Ironheart?
69.
Which one are you talking?
There wasn't one, motherfucker. All right, so now I've been watching all of you guys talk about Ironheart, you know, on all the shows everywhere, but none of you have brought up the fact that there wasn't a single goddamn Asian in Ironheart. Now I hope the reason is because we were smart enough to not be in the movie. But here's my point. My point is I don't care that there was no Asian in Ironheart. My point is that is the hypocrisy of it. If you are going to create a television series that's based on diversity, equity, and inclusion, well, shouldn't it be diverse and shouldn't it be inclusive rather than exclude an entire race of people? Because not even there were no slanty-eyed Asians and there were no brown Asians in it either.
Wow.
And yeah, I know. So what are your thoughts? I have personal thoughts.
Come on, there's no Asians in New York.
I legitimately can't stop laughing. That's the funniest. There wasn't one, motherfucker.
Diversity means less white people, more black people, as they understand.
Yes.
I mean, if you're going on the percentages of how many Asians attend
Are in
MIT,
New York?
well,
very
no,
small.
and MIT
Small.
because you know she's at the university. It's almost it says Asia. The percentage of Asian students in MIT's incoming freshman class for 2028 rose to 47%. So almost half of the college students at MIT are Asian. And how many were in the shot?
Okay, so to be fair, there is a shot where Riri's in class and they pan to her, and that there is one Asian student in the back.
That's your representation.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, you want to the honest answer is they're probably all in Shang-Chi because Asians are the ones that do kung fu. Because if we're gonna get another Iron Fist show, it's gonna be an Asian guy or an Asian female.
No, it'll be a white guy because Danny Rand is white.
No, they don't like Danny Rand.
Asian.
They went back to an Asian
guy
now.
I even have a problem with that. He's white. Make him white.
Because there was complaints about this back when that show was out. That why are they making a white guy good at kung fu? It's like, well, he's like the only guy that's good at kung fu in that specific thing. Like, no, the idea is Asian people are good at kung fu. And so if we do a kung fu movie, that's what we have to do there. You know, black people are disenfranchised, so they need to steal and get that money. That's all it's all about. You know, like I think you're completely right. But like, I mean, that's the reality. I think it's just stereotype. I think
if it's a Latin person, if it's a Latino, they're going to be fighting ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, here, let me play one more.
Bro, that killed me. I'm dying, dude. That's so funny.
Let me play one more clip here. Whoops. I blew it here.
See.
Okay, here we go. This is from The View. Here, I gotta remove that. Then is that it? No.
Not so easy.
I got it. I know how to do this. Here we go. Our good friend Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Know anything about the Marvel Universe, you need to watch this show. This young lady is giving representation of women,
except for Asian
young women, women of color.
Except
this
for
is
Asian
for
women.
everybody. Everyone is
Except for
represented in this woman.
See her be a thief.
Yeah.
She's a bad representation.
I will say this to Dominique Thorne's credit. For the most part, I have not heard her talk about race. I have not heard her get into like the whole, diversity thing. I think she just talks about the show. So with that, I can give her some respect. And like I've said in my review, that between her, Anthony Ramirez and the
Anthony
other guy,
Ramos.
Manny, what's his name? There are decent actors in this show that were just given a horrible script.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
And she is beautiful, by the way. Like, she is a gorgeous woman. They
do her so bad in this show.
They completely made her look ugly in this show. She looks terrible in this show.
Yeah.
They do that to a lot of their female actresses for some reason.
Yeah. Well, because looking good's the male gaze.
Oh, right. They want the male gaze, not the male gaze.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
Yeah.
you know, you can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
looking
exactly.
at her on that show, looking at her on that show and how pretty she is. Oh my God, she looks so bad in this show.
Alan,
it was-
Asian
it was more Natalie
representation.
than
Remember
anything.
Kelly Marie Tran? Very lovely in real life. Made her look frumpy and ugly in the movies because that's what they do.
Which is a weird, I mean, if you think about it, you know, movies used to be the place where, like, in the films of the 70s that really affected me, like Popeye Doyle, Gene Hackman in The French Connection. Not exactly a marquee. He was not exactly the most handsome man in the world. You know, and he's working with Roy Scheider. And Roy Scheider in Jaws and in all that jazz, Roy Scheider had a handsomeness to him, but it was a New York realistic on the streets handsomeness. And now everybody is almost too beautiful. There is no reality of what people really look like in movies anymore. And it's not, I'm not talking about matinee idols of the 40s. I'm talking about the fact that every teenager on every show, unless they're supposed to represent like the larger girl or something else, is everyone's beautiful. Everyone's beautiful. So why not in Ironheart?
Yeah, because even Molly Ringwald back in like the Breakfast Club days, I mean, or the Brad Pack days, I mean, she was a average looking girl.
She was
like
Molly Ringwald. I would go further. I would say she was offbeat and unique looking. There was no
like she wasn't like super
like
gorgeous. She was just like the cute girl,
but she looked different than any other girl.
Right.
You know, and that's what made her, like, if you look at her at the Breakfast Club, she's like the posh girl, but there's something about her that was no other girl looked like her.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that made it interesting. Yeah. You know, she didn't have to look generically beautiful like she has an Instagram filter on all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you can say the same thing about Ali Sheedy, you know, I mean,
100%. They looked like real, the characters in the Breakfast Club, although there's no Asian representation there either.
Or black.
Or black representation.
They're all white.
I'm just saying.
And by the way, love that film. So,
but those
Racist.
people, those look like normal kids. You know, one of my favorite, go back and you watch, it gets a bad rap, but it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Jaws 2 is actually, I think, a pretty worthy sequel. But what's really interesting about that movie is it's about teens cruising, but instead of in cars, they're in catamarans. Look at all the teenagers in that movie. They're all goofy looking. They all look a little maybe too old, but they're all goofy. And you would never see that cast in a major motion picture today. Everybody would be beautiful. And there used to be a time when that kind of normality was I noticed the change in a movie called She's All That with Rachel Lee Cook and
oh god, that movie.
Rachel Lee Cook, beautiful girl, but she's supposed to be ugly because she's wearing a one piece. She looks incredible in a one piece and glasses, and that's it. But she's like nobody.
But not another teen movie lampoon.
No, nobody would look at Rachel Lee Cook in a one piece on a beach going, that girl's frumpy, and I wouldn't want to date her.
Well, that started the trend of the ugly pretty girl, right?
That was so weird.
Well, that's the thing is in the 80s and 90s there were two type of women. There was the hot girl you couldn't get, and
Pamela Anderson.
There's the good-looking girl you probably could get.
Yeah,
and I think that's what really brought people, brought at least young teens into the audience. And the other thing, John Hughes had a memorable Asian character.
Oh God,
the donger needs food.
The Donner.
Long Duck Dong.
Long Duck Dong.
Long Duck Dong.
How did they get away with that?
You know what?
Different time, Dante.
I mean, it's just funny because when Long Duck Dong made his appearance, along with Mickey Rooney, it was just this idea of that finally we're on screen, even if it's the most racist character imaginable. We're finally represented, and let's just say in the 80s and 90s it was a very slow trickle, and things really didn't pick up until Joy Luck Club came along. And
to be fair though, he was an exchange student.
Before people get on me, I'm talking about American films. I'm not talking about Chinese films. I'm not talking about imports. I'm talking about Hollywood made films. And we were very much trickles. Really not until Mulan, I think, is when it's like, okay, we're getting some representation, and then Joy Luck Club, and then 10 years later we got Crazy Rich Asians. So and then we won an Oscar with Everything Everywhere All at Once.